We're live. Podcast
Live
episode 26.
right now?
26, like right now.
Wait, we're live?
In like,
We're right now.
in like 10 minutes.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
We've been live for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, let's go.
This has been brought to you by Gamer Fuel.
Dude, you're the only person I've ever heard to call it gamer fuel.
It's mostly
Yeah.
G Fuel.
Yeah. Gamer.
What do you mean it's mostly G fuel?
It's for gamers by gamers.
Wait, hang on. Is it Gamer Fuel or is it?
It's
If I
G
got type
Fuel,
in
it's
Gamer
just G
Fuel,
Fuel.
it's just G Fuel.
Yeah, gamer fuel is... nobody says...
Real
gamer.
gamers use Gamer Fuel, guys.
G Fuel does. According to their website, the title is G Fuel Energy Drink Formula, Gamer Fuel, and Esports Supplement.
There you go.
Yeah, the gamer fuel is the description, not the name. The name is G Fuel.
Right.
You wouldn't...
Look, you're not a real gamer, Huffy. You wouldn't understand the plight of
Hold on.
gamers.
Listen, dude. Listen. Bro, my Microsoft Word expired. I can't open this doc.
You should be able to open it in WordPad. No problem. But while he's figuring that out, I'm going to vamp a little bit here. Oh.
Oh, no. wait, on what?
So how's your solstice grind going, guys?
Well,
It's over,
solstice
thank
is,
God.
solstice is is it over for you, Huff?
It's over. I'm done. I'm glad.
Are you 100% done like Masterworked or no?
I don't see a point. It's changing in a month, so...
Yeah. Masterwork is gonna be well, and it's just like for you to have it on there. I don't think it's during the solstice event, is it? Or because I mean, you could do that at any time after that, right?
No, you can't. I think the objectives go away.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like, the light level is going to change.
Yeah.
I hate the way the armor looks. There's no reason.
I'm gonna have to show you, like, I got it looking pretty good, actually.
Dude, there's no way.
I did,
Not on
yeah.
Hunter. The Titan gear and the Warlock gear look incredible. Dude, if they don't have some good freaking Hunter gear in Forsaken...
I'll show you.
I just finished my Titan today.
Is that your
Nice.
third?
100%. Yeah, it's 100% done. Except for the Masterworks, I still have all of those to do.
So I was gonna do all three, and then I realized once I got to the blue set, I was like, you gotta do all these missions again. I was like, that's 33 missions.
Well, the one for me is
Nope.
15 strikes, 5 strikes, heroic strikes per with a clan member. It's not a big deal, but it's like 5 strikes per class.
Yeah.
Prestige Leviathan completion. Nightfall with beating the high score, like above the threshold. Hitting Legend, which is easier now because they just started double XP week.
Yeah.
And the triple XP weekend next weekend for Iron Banana.
How about the people who are like, I'm gonna get 3 sets on all 3 platforms?
Dude, oh my God.
Yeah.
I think that the people that are doing that are only honestly playing 2 platforms at this point. I don't think anyone is... The only delusional people that play all 3 platforms are the people who do like comp carries and the people who do trials carries. The trials carries are going...
Actually, shout out to Birdman, who just got partnered. He plays on all 3 platforms and does raid help.
He does.
So that's like his thing.
Oh, well, I mean...
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Does he have all 3 solstice tests though?
I don't
I would
know.
imagine if he's doing raid help.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he'd have much time to raid if that was the case, though.
Yeah,
Is
that's
it
true.
necessary?
Yeah.
Is it necessary to get all 3?
It's
though,
not
at that
necessary
point?
to get 1. It's
That's
really, it's
true.
a trophy, dude. That's what it is. It's a trophy. That's what, like, it's not going to do anything for you, really. It might
Yeah.
save you,
It's
like
like
an hour.
But what about your T-shirt?
oh my God, dude, the T-shirt. You're right. It doesn't look that good.
Yeah, I looked at the. I don't know if I'm gonna order it or not.
I like
mean,
the Age of Triumph one.
Yeah, I'll wait till the end
Yeah.
of Destiny 2.
Today, and this isn't hashtag not sponsored, but today Bungie on their store put up the Grimoire Anthology, a book, Volume 1, $24.99, and it's got I don't know how many pages it says it has. But
Yeah.
it's basically it just went live for pre-order today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I still haven't pre-ordered Forsaken.
I actually did it yesterday.
I need to do
I
that.
just did it yesterday because I'm like, I should probably do this.
Yeah.
So we had a combat reveal stream this week. I didn't put a lot in this outline here, but there's a lot to talk about in it. Did you guys both watch it?
Oh yeah.
Oh
man.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how are you feeling about it overall?
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I don't want. All right, so I'm not into. I wish that the 180s felt better. Like, I'm glad that there's going to be a gun as good as the 180 that they showed, and I'm glad that that gun that is incredible is going to be a competitive reward.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I love all of that. I'm just sad that it's an archetype of gun that I don't like.
Yeah,
to
me
use.
too. It's
The 180 that he was using, I thought it was the Ace of Spades.
No, that's
No,
not a
he-
180. That the Ace of Spades is 140.
He
Right.
was using a 3-tap 180
Yeah.
hand cannon.
Yep. It's
That is
it's
the
called the
comparable-
something Luna, the Luna or something like that, right?
Yeah, there's something Luna. Man,
It's set perks though, right? Because it's
Yeah, it's set perk.
yeah,
It's like the new Redrick's Claymore, basically.
yeah, but the perks aren't gonna get any better than that on a hand cannon.
Yeah.
Like you literally just get increased damage for
What are the
spam
perks?
firing your gun. So if you're like firing quick shots, then like your shots start to do more damage. Like your third shot will do more damage, so that you can like 3-tap somebody with a 180 hand cannon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the exact text on the perk,
And-
but rapid fire shots like cause them to do more damage.
Dude, the messed up part is the 3 shot that we saw was 2 headshots and a body shot
Yeah.
with a 180.
Well, they said they
Insane.
wanted to bring a skill gap.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
140s have to get 3 perfect headshots, so the 180 fires faster, and it only
Yeah.
has to get 2
Yeah,
headshots and a body shot.
Yeah, I think that it's obviously going to be like a really good comp reward. I don't think it's there's not going to be a huge skill gap on the gun. It's just going to be something that like every like top tier player has to have in their bag, because like it's not going to be hard to use that gun.
Hmm.
There's nothing
It's
about
a kinetic slot, right? Or no?
that.
Oh, I guess yeah. All hand cannons are moving to kinetic slot.
Is
No,
that true? I don't think
that's
that's
not true. We don't know. We don't know which it is. I don't think. I didn't pay attention. You could probably go back to the timestamp and look at the
Well, they didn't-
UI.
They didn't put. They haven't had a single that I've seen so far. A single hand cannon. Like the type of ammo. I thought they said it was like it wasn't even this stream. It was a while
It will
back.
drop
They said-
white
were-
ammo, but you still will have some that are in the energy slot, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they're-
you don't.
There were 2 hand cannons in the energy slot during the stream.
Yeah.
One of them was exotic and one of them was legendary.
Okay, so if it was an exotic hand cannon, then it would be possibly. It's hard to say if it was white or. What did anybody know if it was white? Did anybody see?
The ammo will still be white.
The ammo is always going to be white.
Yeah, the ammo for those
Green
weapons,
ammo is only for shotguns, snipers, that stuff.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. So basically, white ammo is hand cannons.
It's primary ammo.
It's
Yeah.
all primaries.
Well, yeah.
So the slot does not determine your
Right.
ammo.
Right. Because that they said that a while ago.
Yeah.
It's determined by the weapon type.
Yeah.
So the hand cannon you're talking about, Huffy, is going to have a .66 second time to kill.
That's incredible. I'm really excited about that.
And it's a
Well,
spammy
I-
weapon, so it's forgiving.
Yeah.
Even
I
if you
wish
miss.
there was a skill gap on it. Yeah, I wish that it was not as forgiving. It's a 180. It's a 180, dude. If
Yep.
it would have just been a 150.
Yeah. Or even a 2-tap 110, honestly. It would be the
Yeah.
What's the
same.
recoil on that though? I mean, does the recoil pattern look good or no?
No, it looks
The
like a
recoil
180.
pattern looks 180. It looks
180s
like
look
trash.
like
The
garbage.
ones that where like you're like,
Yeah, they do.
like
No, they could
Please
just go.
never do
They
that
go
again.
straight up. They're like,
Yeah.
and then it's like don't even
Yeah.
move. Like,
I
Yep,
guess I should honestly get a 180 and start practicing with it.
probably a good idea.
I'm gonna do that today.
Yeah, probably a good
Might as
idea.
well.
You should probably just use the Crucible one, Nature of the Beast.
What are the perks on that?
Uh, I don't remember. I know Dragonfly is one of them.
Yeah, it's Dragonfly is the main one. Accurized rounds or appended mag, and then steady hand or crossfire.
It definitely feels
There you go.
better than It definitely feels better than the Icarus one though. That one's not the best.
I
Yeah,
don't
that
like the
one it
Icarus
has
one.
8 shots.
Yeah.
Like, on paper, the Icarus is the best hand cannon in the game, but when you get it in your hands, you're like, "What the heck is going on here?"
Yeah. What is going on? Why does this thing have 8 shots?
Yeah.
Why am I sad to be playing Destiny?
So they showed off the random rolls and weapon mods system in
Yeah.
this stream,
Oh,
which
yeah,
looks
man.
really cool. And
Yeah,
Masterworks too. Masterworks as well.
Masterworks that you can change.
Right. So
Dude.
the Masterworks is going to be like a progression instead of like you put the Masterwork on and you get a 5% buff. It's like each step you get a 1%
And
buff
the
until
Masterwork
you get to
can't
10.
change, right?
I don't think you can change it. No.
Yeah, the Masterwork is a random rolled as well.
Yeah.
So all of those are random rolled, and then the Masterwork is like, okay, if I got the God roll, then I'm gonna Masterwork it, but otherwise don't.
Right.
Don't master.
The only thing
Yeah.
that's changeable is the mod. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's I mean the system of so on each of the guns you can upgrade it 10 times.
Service revolver is the Vanguard one, Huffy.
Okay. I mean like
But-
it's literally incredible that like you can sink that many mats into a single gun and like get that much progression out of it. Like I think it's great that we're going back to like
It ends
investments.
up being 15 total per gun instead of the 10 I think it was.
Say that again?
So like the amount of shards that we're gonna use is like 30 or 35. I thought like the total was like 15 masterwork cores total
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
like a couple of the levels are like 2 or 3, and then I think the last one is like 5.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be punishing. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited
But I think
to have
maybe, like I think the way that they're gonna probably offset that though is make masterwork cores a lot easier to get.
they're probably gonna be slightly easier to get, but hopefully they won't be like
Too
rampant.
easy. Yeah.
I like the idea of really having to invest in a weapon to get
Yep. Same. I also I feel like there's going to be a lot to these weapons, like to make them unique, because there's so many variables now. So we've talked about like
Yeah.
a million times how it sucks that there's basically one perk on a weapon right now and then the frame perk. Now there's a frame perk and there's 2 additional perks and there's a perk that you get for putting the mod on, and there's the masterwork.
Well, the
That's
frame
a
perk
lot of
is-
variables.
Yeah, the frame perk is the weapon that drops though. So
Right.
that won't.
It's the type
like, if
of
you
it's
get
the type of
2
weapon.
better devils,
That's
it'll
not
be-
random. I'm not saying that's random. I'm just saying that all of
Like, that's
that
a
goes into
variable
what a
in-
gun is. You know,
Yeah.
all of that goes into what a gun is. So
I wonder what's gonna happen to the 150s though, because like they didn't show.
they
off
didn't
a
show
150
any.
at all.
And Michael has a pretty good theory. He's been saying maybe they're gonna give it the hopscotch pilgrim treatment and merge it into the 140 archetype. And I don't see any reason why not, because they don't serve different purposes anymore. Like, there's not any.
I would prefer it go the other way around. I know that that's not happening, but
You mean like that they all become 150s?
yeah,
That's
it's
fine,
just so
too.
much more fun to use than
Yeah.
140. I know that's not going to happen because we know that Ace of Spades exists.
Yeah.
But I feel like I would be pretty sad if my Dire Promise became one. If my Dire Promise literally just became a worse old fashioned.
Yeah. With triple tap instead of go clip.
I'm not into it, and I'd be very sad if my Midnight Coup became an annual skate.
Mm.
That
Well,
just
I think they're
sounds
just
terrible.
changing. I think in all, though, they're just changing the meta. You know what I mean? Like they're just
Yeah,
forcing us to use better or different guns.
for sure.
And the way that I don't know if you wrote anything down about the. I mean, I know we're talking about the combat reveal, but they mentioned that they're going to be separating the element, right, from the weapon on
Uh,
certain weapons.
So
No,
what
you're talking
happens
about
is you're
power weapons right now.
No, not just power weapons, but so like anything you have now is going to be stuck to.
yeah, it's
Stuck.
gonna be locked.
Yeah, it's
So
It's
not.
gonna
you
be
have to
locked,
make sure
right.
you have what you want,
Yeah.
which means that that's another drop variable, which is
So
good.
before, that's a good
Yeah, but
PSA.
none of them take year 2 mods,
Right.
and you're going to want the year 2 mods.
Yeah.
Those are really important.
Yep.
And in a lot of cases they're better, so they have to be pretty. They have to be pretty.
That's like we said last week, though. Probably the new weapons are just going to outclass everything you have for the most part.
Yeah, so basically everything you have now will be replaced.
Right. Which is good. I don't want to keep using the same stuff forever. But a good PSA though, for the stuff you are keeping, preload them. Preload your weapons with the elements you want on before August 28th because they're going to be locked in.
Except for the Ikelos shotgun and sniper
Well,
rifle.
so those are the power weapons, though. There is a few power weapons, and they're listed here in the TWAB. I'll just read them off real quick. Balligant, Shepherd's Watch, Hawthorne's, Field Forged Shotgun, Alune as a God, Perfect Paradox, Frigid Jackal, and Silicon Aroma are all going into the kinetic slot. So don't worry about the elemental mods on those because they're going to be kinetic, which I tweeted out. I'm a little disappointed I'll never, ever get to use my Dire Promise and Silicon Aroma again together.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's not true because you can use 2 kinetics.
No, you
Yeah,
can't.
yeah, but you can't use two of the same slot.
Right.
You can use two. Yeah, you can't use two kinetic.
Nope.
Yeah, you
Nope.
can.
Nope. You can use 2 special weapons, you can use 2 kinetic weapons, but they're both in the kinetic slot. So
Yeah,
they can't.
both of those will be in the primary slot.
The very top slot. That's what they're saying here.
Are you sure? And
100%,
not,
yeah.
the kinetic ammo. They're not just saying that it's.
All's the ammo there is to notate is nothing to do with energy or kinetic. The white ammo is for primaries. So the Silicon Aroma is not getting white ammo. It's still getting green ammo. It's just going to be in the kinetic slot, and it's not going to do elemental damage. But it's still going to need green ammo. That's why it's confusing for people to understand. Green doesn't mean energy anymore. It means special now.
Well, I just thought that maybe they just worded that wrong.
Right.
No,
It's actually physically going in that slot, and so you won't be able
and
to.
you can't drag it around. Like Rafi's saying, I think you can move them. You cannot move them. It's a limitation of the game. So that's why they're telling us where they're going.
Yeah, the whole reason they made that announcement, it was not to give us a teaser to say, hey, these are no longer to be power weapons. It was to say, hey, don't waste your mods in these because they're not going to have an energy type anymore.
Yeah.
They're going to be bound to the...
Yep.
It's surprising Hawthorne shotgun is moving to.
Well, there's a reason. Most of the fully automatic shotguns have been moved to kinetic because they don't want you to be able to put void on it and stack it with the tractor cannon. The only one is Zenith of your kind. So put void on Zenith of your kind.
Yeah, but then you're gonna get a better shotgun that's full auto.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
100%.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, my Zenith is void.
I don't even know what that is. So
it's a raid shotgun. Yeah.
It's the raid shotgun.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Yep.
You can get it from both Spire and Eater Worlds.
Heck yeah.
So we jumped off this real quick, but I wanted to talk about the hand cannons. We were talking about the 140s and 150s, and for anybody who's not privy to all the details, the reason there's a controversy is because just based on some initial math that is pretty simple to do. Even though we haven't seen the 150s, we can assume that 140s and 150s will both be 3 shots to the head. There's not going to be any difference between the two, which is kind of lame. Some people have been going around saying, oh no, the 140s are going to be 2 to the head, 1 to the body, but that's based on the math only possible on a 0 resilience Guardian, which no one runs. Once you have 1 resilience, you have enough to survive that body shot.
Yeah, I saw the responses from Giggs in that thread that he was talking about his thing, and he said a Guardian has 186 health.
At like 1 resilience.
At zero,
and every 1 point of resilience, he gains 2 health.
Yeah, and so you do 70 damage to the head with a 140, and 47 to the body, so you end up doing 177 with 2 headshots in a body, which means you'd have 178 at 1 resilience. It's possible that there's rounding in there that could make it possible to kill a 1 resilience Guardian, but I don't think that any kind of rounding would make you kill a 2 resilience Guardian. So I'm going to say 0 resilience is the only thing it'll probably kill.
Which
maybe
means
1.
That they'd be irrelevant.
Right, exactly. It's going to take 3 shots to the head, basically.
Yeah, but what is this going to change then for... I mean, it's not really going to change then for like a 9 resilience. Is it still going to be 4 resilience? Is going to be the min-max? Or
not for hand cannons. I don't know about for every weapon type. We're going to have to like get spreadsheets out to see that. But for hand cannons, resilience is going to be pretty much irrelevant. Except in the 110s, there's also another piece of news here. I don't use 110s, but so that they showed off, they're like, oh, look how cool this is. 2 bodies, 1 headshot for 110. Only under 3 resilience.
Yeah.
3 resilience and under. That's the only...
Can you imagine if they had gotten on the live stream and like forgotten to set him up at 3 and they did that and he had like 2 health?
Oh my god.
you're like, wait,
Oh, Res.
Yeah. So,
we have to work on that.
Yeah.
So in that case, XO, what you're saying, the 4 resilience would make a difference there if you're going against Guardians with 110 hand cannons. Because then they're gonna have
4 resilience is still the thing.
Well,
no, we don't know if people are going to use that. I don't think people are going to use that because they're unforgiving still. They're going to 3-tap. They already 3-tap, but like if you miss a shot, they become horrible.
180s are the meta, dude.
Yeah.
180s are going to be the viable hand cannon.
Yep.
They need to fix the recoil pattern then.
They're not going to.
They can't, is the thing. It cannot have a traditional hand cannon recoil pattern if it's going to shoot that.
Yeah, it doesn't have time to reset.
Well, they could speed up the animation, though. I mean, they could do it.
I mean, it looked like freaking Cracker Jacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, you can see that like when people had that like weird macro, then they'd have like a 110 hand cannon. They'd be like, you're like, whoa, what's going on there?
That was when that macro was still usable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too funny, dude.
But yeah, I'm super excited for the weapon changes. I really hope that there's some good energy hand cannons that I can use with my Silicon Neuroma. The other thing I wanted to point out in that live stream that I really hope is not going to be the case across the board is that those snipers had such terrible reticle sway. Like they would be like strafing at a slow speed and the reticle was like
I'm
like, like that. I know people are like, oh, it's PS4. I'm like, it's still gonna look like that, you know. Like, I just hope they're bad snipers.
Your hand is gonna do that. Didn't they say that they were changing it so that there wasn't gonna be any reticle sway in the snipers going forward?
I don't know. They said they were reducing flinch before, but like
they're not going to now that they're in
right.
They just canceled that project because
they did. They already implemented that project. It's apparently flinch has been reduced. You can barely tell, but it's already been done.
Dude, I gotta bring up something very, very quick.
Okay.
I made this tweet.
All right.
where I said flinch on snipers is like a stinky kitten,
Yeah.
right? And I said you really want to cuddle it, but damn, is it hard sometimes. And literally everyone that responded was like, "You want to cuddle flinch?" And it's like, listen? How do you do analogies? How bad are you at analogies?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
flinch on sniper, stink on kitten.
Yeah.
Come on.
I get it.
All right. We got some daddies. We got some daddies on Twitter.
But yeah, so I'm hoping those were just bad snipers that they showcased and that they didn't give that treatment to all snipers because they're going to be unusable if that's the case. Like, I understand
it
a
was
little bit of
probably-
flinch, but the sniper reticle sway is just bad. It's not good.
I'd say it's a trade off. We're using a controller and among the fact that nobody used an effective super. There's not a single super that was like really effective.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I saw in that 15-minute time span that like the one guy got his super off like 3 or 4 times, which was nice.
Well, not to be mean, but it wasn't like top tier gameplay going on in there.
No.
Did you see like the best part was when he's like, Cosmo, show off that Icarus grip, dude, and he like jumps and like doesn't move his gun at all. He's like trying to hit him by hip firing and just like waiting for the reticle to fall onto him. I'm like, all right, sorry, man, that's a little tough to watch.
Man, it was pretty rough.
But you could tell he's just not using a scuff controller, so he's like trying to take his thumb off of the right stick and all that.
They're using probably a standard PS4 controller.
Yeah, and they spend all their time developing, not
playing.
Not
That's what the testers are for, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if they have those, yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys have anything else in that stream? Like the supers all looked cool. I liked the pace of things. I think supers are going to be getting shut down a lot more. Recovery looked way better. Like just base recovery looked better because the time to kill changes.
Yeah.
They also weren't wearing any masterwork gear though.
Okay.
I mean, that's true.
But they were getting shut down like so easy. Like people were just like shooting a primary, and it was like, okay, there goes a super.
Yeah, well, the shoddy melee is back. Mm-hmm. Dude, that Night Stalker super got shut down so hard, man.
Yep. They said the tether is a lot faster.
Dude, at the very end of that one game,
show it.
Where the striker is like going into the room of enemies and they're like down by 2 points. It's like 98 to 99, and he goes in there and he's like, yeah, and he's like about to slam 2 people and he gets killed in the air before it happens and they lose the game. I was like, oh my god, that's so awesome.
Dude, I mean, the whole thing looks so fun. Like Crucible just looks like it's gonna be fun again, man. Like, I was playing the day after watching the stream, like, trying to play that Crucible. And it just doesn't exist yet, man. And,
another thing I wanted to mention. We didn't see any SMGs, dude. Are they going to kill faster, do you think?
No, listen, dude. I'm really concerned about that. If SMGs are adjusted for the new time to kill, then they'll be super OP, right? They'd be just, like, incredibly effective weapons. We didn't see any, which like concerns me about like the state of SMG as a whole.
Yeah, well, I don't know what they're gonna do with them because like they showed the auto rifles, and here's my concerns. Autos and pulses.
Like an SMG.
Dude, autos and pulses look like they're gonna kill so fast at such a long range. Like, I really don't think there's gonna be a hand cannon meta. It's gonna be auto pulse meta, which is already a pulse meta, so that's kind of annoying. But
yeah, well, at least it's like not like stupid pulses, because
that Redrix Claymore is looking a lot better now, let me tell you that.
Yeah, it really is. I actually need to grind for that. You want to do some comp?
I'm actually interested.
Maybe I'll do some later tonight.
Heck yeah.
But so the auto rifle's got a 24% buff. Technically, auto rifles already were killing faster than hand cannons, it didn't happen that often because you have to hit all the headshots. But now, time to kill is being reduced. The auto rifle that they showed, I can't remember the name of the frame, but the 600 RPM auto rifle is going to kill in 9 shots to the head. It's a 24% buff, where hand cannons are only getting a 15% buff. I think that's going to be way stronger, dude, and so forgiving too. Like, I don't know about that being part of the whole skill gap thing. Like, autos are not exactly the most skillful weapons, so to have them at like the top of the sandbox is a little strange in my opinion, but we'll have to see how it plays out.
I mean, dude, I think that 180 is that comp 180 is going to be able to counter a lot.
Yeah. But
dude, man, I'm so excited. I'm getting a freaking.
So the 28th is like the date that we have to have our mods locked in the element that we have.
Yeah.
And then also, that's the date where most of the changes are going to come into PvP.
We don't know about the sandbox changes yet. They're bringing in definitely the weapon slot changes. They didn't say that they're adjusting the time to kill before September 4th, though, so I hope they do. It would be cool to play with these weapons and see how they're going to feel in the new sandbox, but it might not happen until September 4th. We're going to have to keep an eye on that.
Bro, mobility is going to be so important in the new Crucible, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Strafe speed, man. Horizontal strafe speed is going to be so much better.
Like I said, though, we're going to need to look at the spreadsheet because resilience might be more important than it is now. Honestly.
It depends. If autos become the meta, then resilience will definitely be more important than it is, but we'll have to see. Either way, like, I think that a lot more playstyles are going to be viable. I can foresee, a mobility or a resilience playstyle being a viable thing to do.
Yeah, and it seems like recovery is just going to be straight up better, so we'll have to see like how that gets affected across the board too, because I didn't drill down on what each person was using that I was watching in that stream. So, do you guys have anything else about the combat reveal stream? That's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about.
We saw the Ace of Spades, I think, right?
Yeah, but here's the problem. We didn't get to see the perk because he reloaded it after he switched weapons, so it never like gave that extra damage bullet to him. We don't know how much extra damage it does.
Yeah. I want to talk about that golden gun super.
The knife one.
I'm really excited about it. It just instantly kills anyone in your LOS. Like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like, that is a huge.
He kills everything in the room. There's nothing that survives in that room.
I want to say I hate it thematically. Like, gunslinger who's a knife slinger. But also the actual throwing knife, dude. I told you guys about this. Like, the 3-fan throwing knife blade that does 30 damage each. I don't really get it. I think the passive perks are pretty trash in that respect.
But that's super, dude.
They did show off.
Golden Gun has always been about the super, and in Countdown, man, that super is huge.
I just need.
It was speculation. It was speculation about the combat reveal about how where the trees were gonna go. But now we finally got an idea. Like, they were gonna go in the center. Yeah, and that we.
That's really what was important. Where it's going to go in the UI.
We needed to know if it was going to be brand new trees, and it's not. Yeah. It's the same thing. We have the same loadouts and everything. We just have a new for.
Yeah, you can't mix and match the diamonds.
There's no right. Yeah, that's what we were thinking. There might be like new perks or new whatever. No, they've created a new set of four for each individual thing. So.
Yeah.
So I think what they really need to do to that super is just allow you to use the Celestial Nighthawk to turn that super of LOS spreading knives into just one really powerful knife that you can throw at a boss.
God,
all right.
Yes.
Throwing knife the boss.
Yeah, and he just explodes.
When did they say? I know it wasn't this stream, but I was talking about it earlier. I thought they said they were changing the way that the bubble works, the Word of Dawn, back
They
to the way that D1.
Well, no, they didn't say that.
had
They
it.
said it's getting a buff. That's all they said. And there was clarification on that this week. I'm going to have to try and find the tweet, though, because I didn't include that in.
What was the? Who said it?
Originally, Claude Jerome was the one who said that the bubble was getting buffed, and now I don't remember. Oh, yeah, during the combat reveal stream, they mentioned something about it, didn't they? Or no, Josh Hamrick. Josh Hamrick said something about it this week.
Okay, let me search.
Yeah, I'm glad. I think Bubble needs to be better. That way, yeah, it just needed a buff. I don't care what kind it gets. It needed a buff.
Luke Smith.
Yeah.
He said the Icarus mod doesn't make Cosmo good at shooting in the
Oh
air.
my god,
No, dude.
that's
They
brutal.
were really bashing all
Yeah,
stream. It was pretty great.
roasted.
Too good, man.
Yeah,
You know, he had to do it live on stream. You know what I mean? It's like the one time he's like, "Give me a Zim, man."
I'm gonna
my
have
God.
to.
I know, like I'm looking it up now. The Word of Dawn change.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like look for that later and get back to you because
Yeah.
there's just too much information that comes out each week. But I think we should talk about PvE, guys.
Let's do
Dude,
it.
they had the trailer in
That
the.
trailer, man.
This
And,
trailer right
yeah.
here, guys. I'm not gonna play it on stream because I know some people like with the spoilers. You know,
There's just spoilers.
there's
you know.
spoilers, but
There's some spoilers.
If
Not
it-
really. Like not really. But
I mean, there's just a lot of
if
questions.
you want to go in blind, don't watch it. But if you want to get super hyped, go watch this trailer because it is mind blowing.
Yeah,
I've
super
watched it
hyped
like
about
30
raids.
times, honestly.
raids
looks
and like the new activity, the new EP style activity for 6 people.
So it showcases the Dreaming City. It gives you some cinematics with Petra, right? Petra seems to be like
Petroverse, yeah.
yeah, is the main person in this trailer.
Yeah,
And it shows like a lot of the enemies and just like this is
No,
an
she was-
end game
she was-
experience, you know. This
Yeah,
isn't
she
just
was
a
in-
raid.
She was so like they've already said that she is going to be the token vendor for the planet of the Dreaming City.
Exciting.
That's awesome.
So, and she's still got that the thing from the, you know, the other. It has to do. It obviously has to do with Aldrin. It has to do with the Queen.
It's just gonna be awesome. I think the Awoken are super fascinating. I love the aesthetic. I love, dude. I mean, I still feel like the Dreaming City is an Ulduar ripoff, but I'm so into it.
No, I don't actually see that. I mean, playing as much of World of Warcraft as I have played a lot of World of Warcraft, but the closest thing I can think that it would be to it is like it's almost like it's its own land, because they said that like you're gonna have things in that land that you're gonna have you're gonna have things in that land that are specific, not just specific to the raid, but you're gonna like that other stuff is gonna like give you tokens and stuff, right? Too, right? So anything you do is gonna
planet specific token.
well the Dreaming City.
Technically,
planet-specific
guys,
tokens.
technically the
Yeah.
planetary tokens are going away, and they're going to be just planetary materials now.
No, but she like the plant there is a planetary token that instead of being a raid token, it's going to be a planetary token.
Yeah.
And it's going to be for the Dreaming City.
for the
so it's-
event and
So it's
the raid
much bigger
and
than that. There's
yeah.
other things to do. There's bounties. There's
There's a lost
we
sector.
actually don't know if are there lost sectors there?
There is. We know that there's one.
Oh, you mean the Baron lost sector?
Well, no, there's multiple of they're called something lost sectors. They're like harder lost sectors, like basically heroic lost sectors. I can't remember what they were
Those
called.
are getting added to planets, but we know for sure that there's one on the Dreaming City.
Yeah, I don't like they're basically like these newer like lost sectors with puzzles in them and mechanics and stuff like that. I can't remember what the name of them is though. but they're pretty awesome.
It really reminded me of this past expansion, though. The anybody who plays World of Warcraft would know in Legion, they had a area called Suramar, and there was a quest line that took 11 weeks to do because it was time gated, and each week you could do, like, if you're on week 3, you could do week 1, 2, and 3, but you couldn't do week 4 before it was week 4's turn, and then sometime after that, like 12 or 13 weeks or 14 weeks later, like the whole quest line was getting into the Nighthold, and like the whole area was about the Nighthold and all of that. So it was like the whole area was about the Nighthold, and then it ended up like the Nighthold was open, and it was like the new raid, and it was like there was other things to do in Suramar, and then the raid was later on, it was opened.
So is that like an attunement, like just a really long attunement, or?
I guess it would be it could be, or it could be considered a really long attunement, but you didn't have to do the quest line to do it once it was open. It was just it was kind of like you just went along with the quest to find out what happened in the story to get to the point to where it became open.
Oh, cool.
So
it was designed when the expansion started. That's when the quest started. So it was like, Suramar didn't actually open like right when Suramar was completely closed off. We didn't know anything about it, and then it came later in the patch.
So they're called Outlaw Lost Sectors. That's the name of them.
Yeah, the Outlaw.
And there's going to be one on each planet, including the Tangled Shore and Dreaming City. So a total of 6 Outlaw Lost Sectors.
Well, there's 8 Barons though.
Okay. I don't think this has anything to do with the Barons.
Yeah, the Barons will be like the story mission.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know they said they're not going to be doing strikes, the story missions as strikes anymore.
Thank you.
The strikes that are, that actually is a really, really good thing, because it means that the strikes that we're going to get are going to be separate and like curated specifically.
What a concept. Actual content.
Exactly. But like, I would much rather play through like it's like, well, let's give Bungie a cool idea and see if they can do it, and they're like, well, we can't actually do it though because it wasn't part of the story. You know what I mean? Like, we can't do a mission on Mars where we fight the Cabal because we weren't doing that specific thing on Mars.
I would have been really disappointed if they would have done that for this expansion specifically, because they didn't do that in the Taken King. They've been working on this for a year, and parts of it even longer than that. But like, the reason they did that for the last 2 expansions is because they basically had the live team working on them since launch. Like they had an idea of what they wanted to do and the blueprints for it, but the live team just had to fill in the gaps, I think, is basically how the development worked. But I don't think we'll see that in the future, because those mid-year expansions, part of the annual pass, are not going to have story anymore. So they can't use story.
Yeah, but did they say that?
Strikes.
I mean, obviously they said new strikes. Do we know how many strikes are coming in Forsaken?
We don't.
I thought
there hasn't been a confirmation.
Oh, yeah, they said how many Crucible maps, but they never said how many strikes.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. I hope they're good strikes. Like, yeah, some of them just didn't convert well. I thought the Zol thing converted well to a strike, but neither of the Osiris missions converted well to a strike. And the one where you kill the wizard, I can't remember what the wizard's name is.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Vicarious Visions did the Warmind. I don't know about Curse of Osiris. Vicarious Visions.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, they seem to be like, well, this is what you get when you pre-order it, but then it's like, okay, but what's in the game? And they're like, well,
that hunter set, or the set of armor that they give you for pre-ordering, looks like poopy, but
for the hunter, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, you get them all for all 3, though.
Yeah, but here's the thing: why do you keep making bad hunter armor? They literally have cape. I know.
And you just got done saying, not even 10 minutes ago, that they better make some sweet armor for the hunter.
I said that.
The armor looks like poopy.
It does look like poopy. They better listen. It's not hard. I will draw the armor. Bungie, hire me. I could do better with a pencil.
Oh my god.
that the guy has like a tumor on his face.
So basically, long story short, we expect better strikes going forward, even in the
And
annual
better
pass.
hunter armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing. Like,
But
because the strikes aren't going to be tied to the mission, to story missions, so there's no reason why we can't get good strikes.
so I want to highlight like how much of an emphasis shift this is in what we've seen in the past. This whole expansion almost seems centered around endgame, which is great because that is what majority of people who play this game, who continue to play this game, are doing. We're not
Yeah.
doing the story over and over again. So like that's not where like your focus really needs to be,
Yeah.
ultimately. So for this, like they're advertising it as the first dedicated endgame destination they've created, home to the largest endgame experience ever, and that sounds really exciting to me.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if it's going to be everything they're hyping it up to be, and I hope it
Yeah.
is.
It's
Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
it would have to be a lot to be a bigger end game
Right.
than Age of Triumph. Because Age of Triumph was a big.
That was more of a celebration, though.
It was still an end game, dude. Like every set was like max life.
But it wasn't new content, though.
That's true.
I do. I want to go over some of these high level progression goals that they pointed out because I think like some of the stuff is like interesting and some of it like the wording. So they say we want to bring back the days when you are impressed to see someone max power in the tower. I don't remember that ever being the case in Destiny. Ever.
It wasn't.
Like,
Except for it was year one, like when the raids were first coming out.
people say that, but so level 30, like I had level 30, and it wasn't hard. It was just the fact that like people could get really unlucky and like they could just keep not getting boots every week when they do it or something,
Yeah.
But
Well, they did address that a little bit in the TWAB.
right. I'm just saying like I don't think it was
Like,
ever really
right.
hard. I don't think
Yeah.
there was ever a time where I was like, "Holy crap, there's that guy Datto in the tower and he's the only person I've ever seen that is like max level." Like that's never been the case in this game. I remember when I played EverQuest, dude, there was like people on my server where everyone knew who they were because they were like, this is the only person out there with this.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that was impressive. So having like thousands of guardians, like pretty much everybody be carbon copies of each other, isn't impressive to me. I hope that max level is a real achievement in this new endgame experience, personally.
Yeah, I agree. I'm interested to see how Crucible will play into gaining light. Like I wonder like if like the competitive playlist so Trials used to be the Crucible playlist that was like good for moving. It was the end game Crucible playlist that was good for moving towards max light. Right? I'm interested to see if there are progression systems built into Crucible that are more than getting 6 blues in quick play.
I
Are
don't. I
we
think.
done talking about the Dreaming City trailer though? To be
Oh, we're done with the trailer. Yeah, we're talking about the investment goals now.
okay.
I'm not trying to switch it to Crucible. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
no,
tell you
I think
how
that
level.
I think probably what you should have your expectations set to is to see like quick play only get you to the soft cap, whatever that is. We don't know what it is
Yeah, for
yet.
sure. I mean, I think that's the way it should be. I
Yeah.
think that you should have to raid.
Yeah,
I mean, you should have to raid.
I agree.
I don't think that the 6-man event or whatever should be able to get you even. It should be able to get you to the same place as the raid.
Right.
Well, no, they didn't. Like for what they said in the TWAB, they talked about you being able to go from 200 to 500 though. Are you saying specifically that you don't think that like one activity should take you all the way to?
Yeah, like the thing about Warmind that like was kind of weird was that like escalation protocol could be like just as beneficial for you as like doing the raid,
Yeah, I don't
That's a
think
pro-
all activities are created equal. I mean, they even go
I
into
agree.
that. They say how acquisition of power. They're making it more proportional to the activities you're doing, which is good. There's downsides to both systems. Like
Well, they
this,
said they
Well, don't get their wording confused. They were talking about proportional to the difficulty you're having, not the difficulty of the activity. They were talking about
No,
said
it's
the
ba-
difficulty of the
it's-
activity.
it's
Yeah,
based on
gonna
light
be
level.
locked. It's basically like if you're 200 power level and you go into a 335 event, it's going to give you 335 gear regardless of whatever your power level is.
Yep.
Yeah, which is great.
So
Yep.
in a la World of Warcraft and every other MMO in the universe, when you do an activity that's designed at a certain difficulty, it gives you a piece of gear that's flat rate, just like everybody else.
And that's good.
End-game activities, that's a really good thing.
Yeah.
But the problem is they still struggle with what happens when you're all the way up at the top.
And also what happens with
They
like
did say that
once
they're
you
gonna
can
work on
carry
that, though, right?
people through
Yeah,
that.
they did.
Once you can carry people through that, that's going to be interesting because it's like, here's somebody who's low level. I can just boost them up by running them through this activity.
Which is great, man. There's like that's part of an MMO is like having friends that can help you, you know, and like being able to like provide for others. Like in the current like Destiny, like even though like I was doing trials carries, even though you were doing raid carries, even like whatever, like you can only help somebody like up to like 2 light levels above where they were. You know, it's not like it was anything like they couldn't do themselves doing strike.
Right.
Like this adds like real
accomplishment.
Yeah, and I'm gonna like the ability to do that too.
Yeah,
because
it's more than just raiding. You can help people by more than just raiding, right?
You can help somebody in a raid, doing activities around the raid.
You could also help somebody by going like being like, come into this level 500 strike. I'll carry you through it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah.
So, which would be a big thing.
And they like it'll always be available. The 500 strike will always be available.
Yep.
You're like, I'll do a 500 strike. I won't have a problem with it, and you'll get level 500 gear as a result of it.
Yeah.
And they're like, but I'm only level 200. It doesn't matter. You're gonna get 500 gear.
So they want the experience of leveling to be more meaningful, and I really hope it is, and I hope that the grind to 50, not just the item levels, but the grind to 50, I hope actually means something, because right now it's just basically a gate to stop you from putting on certain equipment, which is kind of annoying. So I hope there's more to that, you know. Also, they have this stuff about sense of discovery, super vague.
I think that on that sense of discovery thing that has to do with this new power leveling system. Like the fact that the world, Destiny has never seemed, from the PvE side, which is something that's been lacking, it's never seemed dangerous.
Yeah, that you should fear the environment, right?
Yeah.
You should fear the environment. It should be like, hey, I want to go check this out, but if I could go in there and get screwed up, you know, I better be careful. That'd be awesome. But
you're at least going to be able to fear like strikes.
It's hard to do that though in a game like this, right? Because like usually to fear the environment there has to be some sort of penalty for death, and I don't know how you do that in this game.
Not necessarily that. I mean, you could just as easily, like World of Warcraft's old system used to be, they would have like the zones would have certain levels on them, and now the way that they do it is you go into whatever zone you want to, and like everything is the same level as you.
But the whole sense of discovery thing though, when you're exploring, it's kind of like, it's like when how are you going to fear the environment if you know you can, even if I die, I'm just going to respawn in 2 seconds, I can run back in there, you know, that's where you run into the problem.
It's a place that you can't
That's true.
explore.
Yeah.
You know? Because there is not a good system like repairing armor for Glimmer? Like, no.
No, not that. No,
you make something that you do.
The problem is the
rewarding
death penalties like will establish a sense of fear in the environment, which is good, but they end up becoming so punishing that they're not practical, and they
Final Fantasy.
So like,
if you die like twice or 3 times in a row, you lose a full level.
Here, I'll give you an example. So in EverQuest, the way it worked was like, if you died, all of your equipment got left on your body, and you like spawned in with nothing, and then you had to run all the way back to wherever it was. So it would take like it would just be like you're now committed to like a few hours of trying to get your corpse back, and you lost experience. So
Yeah.
you don't really want to establish a
Final
system like
Fantasy, you
that.
lost about a third to half of your experience depending upon your level.
Hmm.
So if you like, in some cases you lost a full level. Sometimes.
Yep.
World of Warcraft has gold, and your durability and your items lowers.
Yeah.
But mostly, I think for the most part, for most players in World of Warcraft, they don't like it's to them. It's just about the time that they lost. It's not about anything else. It's
Right.
just, well, you made me lose like 20 minutes of time, and I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as long as there are places that you want to explore that you cannot,
Yep.
because you are too weak.
And they won't be on the director anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's the case. Like, I don't think the world is even gonna be like that.
I don't think the world's gonna be that, but I'm saying that like at least like things like the raid and the strikes and this like in-game destination, like at least you'll be able to see it.
What they should do, what would be awesome, is if we walked into the Dreaming City, and it's like we know that eventually it's going to open up all the way, but like obviously certain sectors are going to open up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about the trailer or anything like that, but what we already know from without the trailer is we know that across a couple of weeks it's going to take the time to open up. What if like each of these wings that took to open up each week or each 2 weeks or whatever was a set power level that the enemies were, and if you weren't that power level, good luck.
Yeah, that'd be
Like
good.
you're gonna die if you go to the west wing of the area and it's 400 or 500 power level, and it's like, well, if you're not that level, then you can't do it. Like, that's the stuff they need.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna get crushed.
Yeah. I just want to get shit on Forsaken. That's all I want. That's
Yeah.
my. That's
Yeah, I
my-
want to
Bungie
love
letter,
PvE. Honestly, I do.
Too. I do too. I miss it. I want to love it a lot, and I just gotta say, I'm so excited to be able to explore PvE. I'm so excited to have like all this new content, and I'm so excited to not be weighed down by Trials of Osiris. I'm so glad that we don't have.
Well, we could probably segue into that, because the announcement was Trials for Season 4 is not going to be in Season 4.
Yeah, this is a PvE season, baby.
It's going back to the workbench. They're gonna fix it. They're working on it.
Wait,
We're probably still gonna see Iron Banner.
Are we talking? You're talking about faction rallies right now?
Trials.
Oh,
Trials
Trials of the 9.
Yeah. Trials of the 9 is gone, baby. Which means, like, 4. First of all, we get to focus on things that are important. Second of all,
competitive Trials, Osiris or Iron Banner.
So honestly, here's my personal, very probably about to be ill-received opinion. With Gambit being a PvE PvP hybrid that allows you to compete against other players and gain high-level rewards, and with the competitive playlist having being as specific as it is and allowing top-tier players to fight against each other for Crucible specific rewards, I think the Trials is outdated, and I don't see what purpose it could serve in Destiny 2 other than fulfilling nostalgia. I don't need it back.
Whatever you mean?
Well, they need to do something with it then to make it really stand out from the other PvP.
It doesn't serve. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't serve a purpose anymore. We have like the gear getting activity, and we have the competitive Crucible experience. Like, what purpose does Trials serve other than like?
Well, it's not a playlist that's locked to a weekend. It's like a limited time event. But even then, why does it need to be limited? Yeah, even then, it's like why are we looking at Trials of the 9 and go, why the heck is it only available on the weekends? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
If people want to play Trials of the 9, if they wanted to play Trials of the 9, they should be able to do it all times.
Yeah. There's just not.
And they have that with competitive, and there's no point.
Well,
there is no point.
I mean, the problem I have with it, I've said it a million times, is just that it's the same playlist as competitive. It shouldn't be the same game type. But like the answer is right in front of their face. Everybody just wants them to make it 3v3 elimination. Just go back to what it was. Like honestly, it'll make people happy.
But even then, what's the purpose beyond that? Would it serve? Like it really wouldn't serve a purpose.
Yeah, people would just like the purpose.
It's a crucible game type. Do you ask yourself like, hey, what purpose does control serve? I mean, really, why do you need flags in a game?
Yeah, Recked. I understand that, but what I'm saying is the game types and that the experience like only matters if it serves like a purpose in the game, some purpose of progression or some purpose of achievement. In that case, why not just bring 3v3 elimination to like the weekly Crucible playlist?
That's fine.
People would enjoy that more because they'd be able to play it. I'm saying that like the separate place on the director, like the heralded trials of the nine, like that like idea, it doesn't have any value anymore. Like playlist aside, I would love 3v3 elimination, but there's no purpose of.
Well, the value in Destiny 1
for it.
The value in Destiny 1 was thematic exclusive gear to that event, and they could easily do that. I mean, there's nothing stopping them from doing that.
I disagree. I don't think it was just that. I think that the view of Trials was because there was quick play, right? There were the playlists, and then there was Trials. Trials was viewed as in-game PvP. It was viewed as like the premier content. And all of the stuff that came with it was only cool because, this was the gear for the best of the best in Crucible. Now we have something else that fills that function.
Fair enough.
It's competitive.
I still want 3v3 elimination back, so make it a thing.
Like, and what he's saying is 3v3 could, like, instead of seeing it in Trials, we could see it as a competitive weekend playlist.
Or just an anytime playlist, an all the time playlist. I'll take a 3v3 playlist. That'd be great.
You have to queue up with two other buddies. Like, it has to be a set team.
We'll see.
Just like Trials is now, but just to have it be competitive.
Rogue Shadow's making a good point. He's saying, like, if competitive is the new endgame PvP, he doesn't think one gun per season is enough. And I would agree. There is more than that technically, but that's all that's worth getting currently. Like, the other guns that they allow you to get are really, really terrible. I mean,
we don't know what all is going to be available for
some of them. So we'll see. Some of them were really good though with Trials, like Darkest Before.
No, but that's the point he's making, is that the Trials guns were for loot, and they get offered a lot of loot, where competitive only offers basically one gun, which is a problem.
Yeah.
So that's fair. Yeah. We got off on a little bit of a tangent there. I just wanted to go over some of these other PvE points here. The director's changing, the milestones are changing. It's not going to spoon feed you the answers anymore. You're going to have to figure out how to grind things yourself, which is really awesome.
Well, it's actually going to go like it is and it isn't. It actually is, in the sense that like all you have to do is pay attention to what activities are on the planet. And it's going to show you where, like on the planet, it's going to show you what activity it is.
For some stuff. They do specifically say that not all sources of power in a week will be apparent in the director. They specifically say that in their high-level investment goals. Yeah. So while they do show this like challenges thing, where like you hover over the Crucible, which I'm assuming this will be on every planet, there's going to be some stuff that doesn't get shown at all that you're going to have to find yourself, which I think is cool. That's all I was saying. It's not everything, but it's some stuff.
Yeah, but I think isn't there those gold things that?
That's what I was just pointing to. That's the challenges. So it'll show you some things, but not everything.
So do you think the Leviathan is going to be in the Vanguard, underneath the Vanguard menu?
No, they actually, I guess they said it, they clarified on Twitter. It's going to be in the Nessus menu.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Okay. Strikes are changing. There's no more heroic strikes now. They are rated by power level. You're going to see legacy strikes 300, 400, 500. The matchmaking is going to be separate. once you get over 400, your 300 level playlist will disappear. That way they keep the player populations healthy, but you'll always have access to the higher playlists,
40,
which is cool.
40 above.
This seems like
So
a better
you'll always
system.
So once you're 440 though, you won't have access to the 400 playlist anymore.
Right.
You'll only be able to have access to the 500 playlist.
Exactly. So that's.
But the 500 playlist will give you 500 gear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or requisite to the difficulty of the activity, not necessarily of your power level, which is a big change.
Yeah, which is huge.
In addition to that, Prestige Nightfall is going away. They're just making Nightfall harder, pretty much, and reworking it. 'Cause that's how it should be. I mean, what's the point of just having like a weekly strike, basically?
Yeah, this scorecard system kind of like put a band-aid on the problem,
Right.
But like really, the Nightfall just needed to be harder.
But
I
if
think it should
we're
always
going to keep that
over.
for the Nightfall, then what's the point in us doing a Prestige Nightfall? Why can't we do that with the regular Nightfall?
That's what we're saying. We're getting rid of the Prestige.
I know, but it's the card sting, right?
We don't know.
It says legacy players will still be able to enable modifiers on their challenge card, but I guess non-legacy players are going to have modifiers built into the strike itself.
Okay, so that means no. That we're like the Nightfall is going to be set to a specific difficulty, which I don't know if I like that or not. I liked being able to.
I like it.
Get myself a lot more than what a normal player would do to get a higher score.
Everyone runs normal Nightfalls right now, and they're too easy, honestly. I think it should be harder.
The last Nightfall I did last week was a 75 minus, which was the highest.
Yeah, that's a prestige Nightfall, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying the normal Nightfall, the regular one, is way
the normal
too easy.
Nightfall, yeah, but they're getting rid of prestige Nightfall.
Right.
So there won't be an option to run that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the Nightfall just needs to be an incredibly hard thing that only the top geared, like, smartest players can, like, achieve.
I don't think it should be even possible week one of Forsaken, honestly. Like, they should put it out there. They should put it.
People are going to do it week one. I
It
promise
will
you
be,
it's going to
but
be done, yeah.
It needs to be. I want things to feel like week one of Warmind, where everybody was getting crapped on an escalation. Yep. That was awesome. When people literally had to, like, try to queue 9 people because it was so hard. Like, that experience was at least cool. Like, sure, it was inconvenient.
The first couple of weeks, it was really cool. Yeah,
it was really cool, man.
It got really old really fast. But with the Nightfall and the changing perks and things like that, it has a higher likelihood to not become as old as quickly.
Also, you're going to be able to choose from 3 strikes for the Nightfall now. So if you want to grind like a specific Nightfall exclusive reward, you won't have to wait like months and months and months anymore.
That's cool. What is Nightfall this week?
I don't know.
The Nightfall this week is Will of the Thousands, Zol.
Dang, I still need the DFA.
But so like, I don't know if that stuff's getting replaced too. Probably. I would assume like all of the old Nightfall exclusives are going away, and there's going to be new ones with mods and stuff.
Well, they did say that you would be able to get that stuff though. Like it will be available from other sources. So I don't think the DFA is going away forever.
I don't know.
What did they say was going away on the 28th? Because then that stuff we know is
the exotic catalyst.
Yeah.
Are not going to be available.
The faction ones.
Forsaken.
The faction ones.
The faction exotics are not going to be acquirable.
Yep. They're working on it. So
yeah.
There was something else I wanted to say about the Nightfalls here. Oh yeah, so you're gonna have a choice of 3, which I think makes sense with them adding more strikes. Hopefully this means they're adding a lot of strikes, because they were probably thinking like we can't have people waiting 2 months for it to come back. I looked it up
using my computer.
Yeah. Okay.
And it is 3 strikes. 3 strikes will be added into Forsaken, with one being exclusive to PlayStation. So 4 strikes for PlayStation and 3 strikes for
PC and Xbox.
PC and Xbox.
Huffy just disconnected. It looks like.
I see that.
I'm right here.
Your internet is crapping out.
You are a JPG.
Yeah.
Another JPG. A different JPG though.
Oh my god.
It's updating once every. You know how you have 60 frames per second? Well, you're like 0.5 frames per second.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep going while he's trying to load.
You figure that stuff out, yeah.
The meditations they're getting rid of that. Now there's going to be a heroic story playlist instead. Your Ikora weapons or your Ikora tokens are going to be dissipated.
Frankie has a question about the. Why is it just showing you though?
Yeah, he just disappeared. He's probably trying to get it working. There we go.
Okay. Frankie does have a question about the world vendors, which
yeah, they did answer.
We wanted to talk about the economy updates. Is there any world about what's happening with the world vendors? Are they not getting new gear again? Well, they're not getting new gear again.
Yeah.
And like for sure, what they've said is
the tokens are going away on the planets, and there's going to be planetary materials instead.
Right. So all your tokens are useless.
Not all of them. Your Crucible ones, your Vanguard ones, and
destination tokens and rare destination materials are no longer given.
Right.
But you can still redeem them for reputation if you have them in your inventory.
Right, but
destination materials will be the new thing that you get as a source of reputation. Anything that previously granted destination tokens will now give materials.
So that does not include Crucible and Vanguard tokens, though. They're still going to be used to buy.
Yeah, the Vanguard tokens, the Crucible tokens.
Iron Banner, I think. I don't know. I think Iron Banner they said too.
Iron Banner and Crucible tokens earned in Season 3 may be redeemed for the respective vendors in Season 4.
Mm-hmm.
So Iron Banner, Vanguard, and Crucible are all token-based.
Yes. So hold on to those. Don't get rid of them.
The Gunsmith is also token-based.
Right. Well, he was never token-based, material-based. Gunsmith materials.
So it will require 100 Gunsmith materials instead of 40 Gunsmith materials for one package, which is whatever. But
yeah, they're doing that to slow down.
Now, what's that?
They're doing that to slow down people like us. Like I have stockpiled Gunsmith materials.
Oh yeah. Well, pretty much like if you have the tokens now, you can save them. But there's really no point because they're not updating the gear for the planets.
Yeah, don't worry about those. I mean, I don't know what the reputation's going to do for you other than just old gear, but save up your Vanguard ones and your Crucible ones, definitely.
What do they even say anything about Ikora or if Ikora is?
They said, yeah. I was just talking about that a second ago. So the meditations are going away. Her tokens are being deleted from the game. She's not going to have that reputation anymore.
Ikora Ray's Vanguard research reputation tokens will no longer be used as a currency and will be removed from players' inventories.
Yeah.
Legendary parade gear will no longer be available, so if you want it, get it before August 28th.
Yep. So that is out of the game, which is fine. Because heroic story playlists are going to be a thing.
Yeah.
We can't even hear you.
I can't see you, and I hear. I have no idea why. Destiny vendors are starting to feel the way that what happens with the old world WoW content it just never gets new content injections. Well, you didn't think about it, right? So like, I understand why they wouldn't want to make new stuff for those vendors. Because those are old planets. That's part of the old the old game.
I can see your screen share now, Huffy.
Okay.
Still not. That's weird.
That is so weird.
We can hear you just fine now.
Yeah, that's better. It seems like your internet's better.
I don't know if my camera won't activate.
The only one that I would want for my the parade gear is the legendary parade gear would be the my hunter.
Yeah, I mean, but it looks so similar to the Solstice gear.
Yeah, the Solstice gear is all burned up and crap.
Yeah. So, that's fine with me. Um, so we were talking about Iron Banner and Trials. Obviously, Trials is going away. Are you able to hear us, Huffy?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, we'll just
He's
continue
just
with the
trying to get his mic.
conversation for now then. So Iron Banner on
It's better for our audio listeners anyway.
yeah.
Uh,
So Iron Banner in before season 4 starts, this last one that they're going to do in season 3 is going to have the new rule set. They're going to have these new flaming flags, which look pretty cool. It'll be August 14th to the 21st, so that's coming up pretty soon. There's not going to be any new loot. It's just to like kind of show that off and play test.
Right now is a double XP for Iron for the Valor, and at the end of the weekend starting next Friday during Iron Banner it will be a triple XP, and then it's going to go to a double XP weekend after that. But what the really interesting thing is control. But I mean, it sounds really cool. Like, get all 3 zones,
and it locks them for 20 seconds. Yeah. So that's pretty awesome. It gives you an incentive to not just stay double capped, which is cool. Yeah. The other thing I want to talk about here is this power enabled thing for season 4.
We needed that back.
Well, this is my concern. In Destiny 1, it never really mattered because most people were max light, and the delta wasn't really scaling enough to make it a huge difference unless you were like 100 levels lower. So because they're going to allow even legacy players to participate in Iron Banner, which means people who are at least 200 levels lower are going to be allowed to play. The scaling, I can't imagine, is going to be even noticeable, because if they're allowed to play, there's no way they're going to let them like queue up and literally die to one auto rifle bullet. You know, like they're going to come in there and...
It'd be nice, though.
It would be nice, but they're not going to do it. You know they're not going to do it. If they're going to let them play, they're going to let them play and like have like a chance. There'll be maybe like a 0.1 second disadvantage or something, but I don't think that this is going to matter at all. I'm really worried that they're overhyping this for no reason.
Well, they have another 2-page, two paragraph things about why power matters in season 4.
They've said this before, though. This was the whole design plan for Iron Banner, was to be like, power matters. That's the theme of Iron Banner, but it never has mattered. It's never been like, I'm a max level guardian, I just shit on everybody. It's never been that, you know.
For sure.
I wish we could have something like that. That'd be pretty cool, but I don't know. I hope that it's more than they're amping it up to be, but I just don't see how they're going to let those players in and like allow them to have a good time. Unless they're literally just like, yeah, we'll let them in and we'll make it a punishing experience so they're incentivized to buy the expansion.
No, I mean, I can see that honestly, because if they didn't at least like let them in, then like, people would complain that like they had paid for the content. But like that to me, it just like solves the whole thing. Like, yeah, you can play, you just can't be maxed because you're not keeping up with the game, you know. Like it makes sense to me that they'd let them come in and get it done. Hopefully that's...
I'd really like. I know they're trying to include them in as much as possible, but I think they could make this game mode a better experience if they just said, "Sorry, you can't do it if you're a legacy player." As I don't think they're gonna allow for that kind of an experience.
Just be like, okay, well, you know what you're getting into. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully, you know, and of course, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do really well," and they get pooped on.
Yeah. So faction rallies are going away again.
Mm-hmm.
People don't like them. I don't blame them.
For season 4.
Hopefully they just bring back factions and not faction rallies.
Yeah, I don't like Lost Sector rallies. If they could make them a little less Lost Sector-y, that would be...
yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be good. I don't really have too much to say about this. We've talked about faction rallies a million times. Hopefully, when it comes back,
no,
it's
the
better.
two specific pieces of feedback we can mention, though, that they did mention that they received loud and clear from the people is that we don't want to feel forced to participate in every instance of each event session, like every event each session. So what that means is we don't want to feel forced to participate in it because it's a weekly event. We only have a weekly event. So obviously they're looking at making it,
Yeah.
not be forced into a single week.
I disagree with the second piece of feedback that they say it needs to be less hardcore. I don't know about less hardcore. It just needs to be less boring.
I don't know what that piece is. The feedback was make the event progression a bit less hardcore and more engaging.
I get more engaging. I don't know about what
I'm not
less
sure
hardcore.
what they mean by less hardcore, because it's not like
they just mean it was a grind. It was a grind, but it was
50.
just so boring. That's why people didn't like it.
It was a shitty grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a good grind, and if it's like 2 weeks or 3 weeks long to get what you want from it, like let's say the faction rallies wasn't going on, and you every week you could decide which, like in Destiny 1, you could decide what faction rally you would want to go to, and it said get to rank 50, and then you can do that, and you're like, well, I can get to rank 50, of course I can. And if I wear my gear, like I get renown and I can go in the lost sectors, and that's boring. But I mean, if I change my cloak or whatever, the shader of my cloak to my future work hall, I can get future work hall tokens, and I can slowly inch up there to that 50, doing all the activities that I do throughout the whole game. It would feel way different, right?
Yeah. So there's a long thing about Eververse. I'm not going to read it all. I just want to say again, they're making this way too complicated. They're making it too complicated. They're outthinking the problem. They're bringing back this prismatic matrix.
Well, so the prismatic matrix is making a return. But what's interesting about the prismatic matrix, they said, is first off, it's going to stay through the entirety of season 4. But the change that they're making with the prismatic matrix is that all the items that they sell in season 4 are going to be on that prismatic matrix, meaning that you will get everything on the list if you play long enough. And all you have to do is be like, oh, it's going to be checked off the list, similar to the way the Solstice stuff is right now, where it checks it off of a list. Only the prismatic matrix will give you one free item a week.
Yeah. And then the other thing is they're doing this thing where they're allowing you to earn some of it through in-game. What were they called? Like
Eververse bounties.
Bounties, yeah, Eververse bounties.
Yeah, it's a one bounty note. So they have 3 tiers of bounties. It's really complicated. It doesn't make any sense.
I know. I'm like having trouble even following it.
I get it. I understand it. I just don't know why they need it for her. Like, why can't they just give us what? And I know you wanted to mention, Destiny Guardians. What Destiny Guardians is getting in South Korea, which is selling us everything at a Bright Dust cost or a silver cost or whatever it is.
Just let me buy what I want,
and just.
And I'll buy it.
Yeah, but the only thing is with Destiny Guardians, they're getting like a pay-to-win structure, though. It's gonna have
that is a little bit different. Like all the high-end gear is in this. Like Tess is gone, and Uni is in it, and it's in her place, and she sells literally the best gear in the game for silver, which means for real money.
I mean, they're also getting.
But she also
so that's the other thing. They're getting dedicated servers. All this time we've been told dedicated servers are like not a possibility and not worth the money. I don't know what the deal with that is.
South Korea is getting that and dedicated servers, right?
So it is a mixed bag. I don't know what to say about that really. But I think that this whole weird complicated tier structure thing, EXO, is basically to make you intrinsically value the stuff more. So if you're like, man, I'm like barely making progress towards this one thing, it must be worth more money in your head. It's like a psychological manipulation. I think that's what it's all about. They want to sell more things, and they want people to actually want it, because right now I don't want it at all, and I don't think I'm going to want it with this. But
well, the thing is like I want some stuff, but with the way that I look at it now, with as much as I play, I'm like, okay, well, I know I'm going to get it. Like by the end of the event, I'm going to have everything I want from that. I like the fact that they're not going to give variable bright dust. That's really good. So if you dismantle something, it's going to give a flat rate. Oh, you're back. 100%. And then the other thing that I really like about it is that The bright engrams will, for people who don't buy this expansion, will not get like a different bright engram. They're going to get their bright engram, and all of it will be, rolled into the new system. Like we'll get the new bright engram or whatever it's called for season 4. I wish we could decide what bright engram we wanted though.
So Rogue Shadow,
That'd be
I
really
think,
neat.
just said it best. He said this isn't about ease of use and improving options for the players. It's about making arbitrary endpoints for players to chase minimal marginal gain. It really is. I think it's just about
It's not marginal
psychological
gain.
attraction.
It's cosmetic. But I don't understand the complication of complicating a cosmetic system. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I've never liked the aesthetic of like pretty much anything in there. So.
Are they just giving us a reason?
Yeah.
So like
well, all the hunter operators always look
every week we're gonna use that tier 1 bounty for a free item, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they might as well not
Yeah.
even have the tier 1 bounty in there.
I guess.
I don't under like what's the bounty notes? What does it even mean?
Dude, I guess if you want silver to buy haters, I have no idea.
The only reason why they would ever make a system like this so complicated is to make you feel like in the game to be like, oh well, I actually want some. What haven't I grinded for? And you think to yourself, what haven't I grinded for? You go, okay, well I haven't grinded for Eververse. Maybe you could get it faster. Like that's one reason.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it would give you an option to grind for the stuff you want from Eververse faster, which I don't think is the case. And the second thing is they could make it complicated to the point to where you go, okay, well, like you said, like I think costing 250 glimmer for this bounty notes, like am I going to be able to buy bounty notes with straight up money like silver?
We're gonna have to see, man. It's like
this is a really complicated system for no reason.
Okay, so I do think that the system is more complicated than it needs to be, but I don't think that in practice it's gonna feel as complicated. So let's be honest about this. This is bounties, and is what we know about the bounty menus so far and accepting bounties is that like we literally don't even read them. You go to the vendor or whatever, and there's a huge list.
Yeah.
You just click on every single square. Yeah, you don't care. You just click on the squares and then you go into the activity, and the ones that you don't automatically complete you look at later. Like it's complicated and it's stupid. But at the end of the day, we're just gonna walk up the test, click on a row of squares, and then go play.
No, because these tiers of bounties are gonna cost bounty notes, and we don't know how many notes you get for things. Like I'm thinking that's what they're doing with the bright dust. Like they're turning the bright dust into the bounty notes.
They're like they're like, you don't get anything for your bright dust anymore. Now we gotta make you pour it into another economy.
Yeah, it doesn't make like bounties are players.
We don't know. We don't know. We have no idea. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So that's to be determined. They have some more
There's a
about
lot to be determined there.
They have more about Crucible Labs here, guys. Like
I don't even want to talk about it. I honestly don't. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like we can skip that.
It's a round based.
No. All right, next.
I don't even know what was it.
No, but I actually want to complain about it because it's literally the same thing coming back.
Dude, the only thing
I skipped through it when I was like, oh, Valor, 3x Valor.
It's Showdown. It's the first thing that they had in there. They're bringing it back again.
But they changed it a little. Dude, we didn't play it the first time. We're not going to play it this time. It doesn't matter.
Oh, no, I played it the first time and I hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you stopped playing.
Yeah. It's just never anything cool.
Excuse my language.
Like where is the hey guys, we brought Gambit this week to
Yeah, dude, there's no point in Crucible Labs. There's really not.
Yeah.
If they ever give us this mode that we've been like playtesting and refining and participating in,
to be fair,
then, like I won't like it then either.
Crucible Labs has more of a purpose than Trials does.
Yeah, it does.
At this point.
That's true.
I just think it's another thing that's like, hey, let me make you feel like you're involved in like the development of this game. But for real, like
The decisions they're gonna make, they're
Give
gonna
us a
make
real
without-
PTR. How many times do we have to say it? Give us a real PTR.
Without our feedback, they're gonna make the game they want anyway, and then we're gonna give our feedback, and then they're going to react to it.
Yeah.
That's how it's always been.
And it'll only take a year for them to react to that feedback. So.
6 months to change a bullet.
Yeah,
to
it
change the
seems
mag
weird.
size.
They're like spreading the Crucible population and adding this dumb node just so like we can like playtest game types.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Wait, is that what that's for?
That's what Crucible Labs is for, yeah.
Game types.
Game types, yeah.
Yeah, game types.
I thought you said aim types. I was like, wait,
no.
ADS
like,
speed and
no.
That would be cool.
No.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
The thing, it's just not worth it. The game modes have never been like the problem with Destiny. Like people aren't playing this or playing that because of the game modes. Like people would have played the competitive playlist if there was a reason to.
Yeah.
Like it's never been the game modes. It's always everything else. So give me Radar back, by the way.
Yeah. Put Radar back in competitive. That'd be good. Especially with the time to kill going down, you can't have people flanking and just being like, "Where is he?
Oh my God.
While I'm dead and I have no idea where he came from.
So as Exo mentioned, there's going to be a bunch of like double valor, triple valor. We're getting a whole week of double valor starting right now for a whole week. Double valor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great. I'm. So
well, it matters
concerned.
for people who don't play PvP who want to get their
And
Solstice
who
gear.
want the Solstice
And that
master
ghost shell.
And the Ghost Shell, yeah.
and the Ghost Shell. Yeah, I don't have the Ghost Shell yet.
Personally, I just like seeing an arbitrary number on an emblem go up, so I'm just gonna keep resetting.
I hate the emblem system, dude. I don't want to see numbers on emblems.
Yeah.
Like, and make cool emblems that you have to get from somewhere, but this whole like, oh, let me flex my trials wins on an emblem thing.
My favorite number is level 30. No.
Oh my God. Yeah, like that one matters. Just let me see the whole emblem. Write my freaking name on there and let me fly into space.
Social security number.
Dude, 420-42-8347.
Wait, what?
So that's it.
Did you just give yourself a security number?
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. So
did Huffy just give us his social security number right now?
that's the other thing. Michael raises a good point about those emblems. They like invented this whole system called emblem variants, and then they just don't use them. Like they only exist for the strikes. When they could be like, hey, once you get to this many resets, the emblem changes. But they don't do that. Why don't they do that? That would just make sense. Or even like in competitive, it's like, oh, you're mythic. The emblem should change. You know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what they were thinking. Like, hey, we made this thing.
They were.
Yeah.
They were thinking the whole reason that we have had emblems and arbitrary numbers on emblems for this past year is to create like just the semblance that there might be some grind in a grindless game.
Yeah.
They've just been like throwing band-aids on this huge sinking boat. and we just gotta, hopefully Forsaken is just like a new boat, you know.
So I mean that's pretty much it though. This is one of the
boat to get the paddle boat to get to the next boat.
This is definitely one of the most
this one doesn't have holes in it.
Substantial twabs like I've seen in a long time.
It's a bigger one.
So
I mean a good portion of it is the Eververse. Like
I can't wait for Forsaken, guys. Honestly, like it just feels like so far away, even though it's so close. Like we've been waiting an eternity for this, and I hope it lives up to the expectations.
If the Dreaming City does not feel like that trailer, I'm gonna be sad.
Yeah. Well, when has Bungie ever put out a trailer that's misleading?
I can't remember a time.
That's true. That's true. They don't have really a misleading trailer.
Nope.
I mean, it was, you can in Destiny 1, don't you remember the time that you added custom music to your Ghost, and your Ghost played custom music through your playlist through like your PlayStation or Xbox or something? You remember that, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember that as vividly as I remember if you can see it,
Yeah.
you
can
go
explore
there.
it. If you can see it, you can explore it. Gotta love them skyboxes that you can explore, guys.
Bro.
That's all I have for this week. It's been an awesome episode 26. Guys, reach out to people you know, and let's get some guests on here because we haven't had a guest in like a million episodes. So,
Yeah.
It's been a while.
So I'm Recked. I'll see you guys next week.
I'm Huffy.
EXO.
Hey.
Bye.